Now, in business research, on the page number 71, sorry, on the page number 70, the second question of third unit, that is, what is secondary data? What is secondary data? Discuss its merits and demerits of secondary data. Basically, in this question, we have to understand what is secondary data, meaning and introduction of secondary data. That is next merits and demerits of the secondary data. So now, on the page number 70 in your book, there is the secondary data is also known as published data which are not originally collected, but rather obtained from published sources and statistically processed are known as secondary data. What is secondary data? Secondary data is normally known as published data. When you collect data from any other sources like books, journals, research papers, research articles, or any other published data, if you collect data from that sources, that particular data is known as researchers secondary data. It means any researcher wants research on any topic and he collects data primarily, and you just use that data by using reference of that particular researcher. That is called the researcher's data, or that is also known as the secondary data. Basically, secondary data is not directly collected from the researcher. That particular data is collected by any other person, but that particular researcher is just using that data for the purpose of research by mentioning that name. Now, what is the next? Thus, any data which have been gathered earlier for some other purpose are termed as secondary data in the hands of the current researcher. The current researcher means if that particular data is collected by other person, collected by other researcher for other purpose, and that particular data is used by the current researcher. In other words, it is the same which have already been collected and analyzed by some earlier individuals, groups, agencies for its own use. In later, the same data are used by a different agency or individual. It means that particular data is collected by any individual person, by any agency, by any group of the persons. They first of all use that particular data for their purpose, for their own use. After completing the objective of that data, that particular researcher will publish that data, and next researchers will use that particular data for the purpose of research. Now, the second paragraph, a secondary sources is a publication reporting the data which was gathered by other authorities and for which others are responsible. For instance, data published by Reserve Bank of India, Registered Journal of India, Central Statistical Organization, Ministry of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Agriculture, and so on. Along with some international bodies such as World Bank, Asian Development Bank, International Labour Organization, UNICEF, etc. are the primary data for this organization, as they collect this data at first end, but are secondary data for the researcher. All other main organizations, here some national and some international bodies name is given in this paragraph. If that particular data, say for example, if IMF, International Monetary and Finance, there is given, if that particular company collect data, that particular company collect data from the respondent from any other sources. For IMF, that particular data is primary data. and for all other researchers who have researched on that data, that particular data will become the secondary data. Basically આપણે નોર્મલી ભાષામાં સમજીએ તો રિસર્ચમાં જો કોઈ પણ વ્યક્તિ છે એ વ્યક્તિ ડાયરેક્ટ ડેટા કલેક્ટ કરે છે એટલે રિસ્પોન્ડન્ટ પાસેથી સીધા ડેટા કલેક્ટ કરે છે તો એ છે પ્રાઇમરી ડેટા કહેવાશે અને એ જ ડેટા જે પ્રાઇમરી ડેટા કલેક્ટ કરેલો છે એ પબ્લિશ થશે અને પબ્લિશ થયેલા ડેટાનો જો બીજો કોઈ વ્યક્તિ યુઝ કરશે તો એને સેકન્ડરી ડેટા તરીકે ઓળખવામાં આવશે. નાઉ characteristics of secondary data. Characteristics of secondary data is that secondary data means data that are already available. In essence, they refer to the data which have already been collected and analyzed by someone else. Secondary data may either be published data or unpublished data. Secondary data may be published data, or that particular data may be unpublished data also. It means it is not necessary that secondary data will always publish it. If any person collects data and that particular researcher will not publish the data, and any next researcher or the future researcher will use that data will also become the secondary data. In that, the first characteristics of secondary data is reliability of data. The reliability of data can be known from the following information. The first, who is collecting the data and from which sources. First of all, is that particular data is reliable or not? How we can know that that particular data is reliable or not? એટલે છે એ વિશ્વાસપાત્ર છે કે નહીં એના પર તમે વિશ્વાસ કરી શકો એવું છે કે નહીં. તો એ તમારે જાણવું તો first of all you have to know who is the collector of that data. Who collect that data? જે છે ડેટા કોને કલેક્ટ કરેલો છે એ. So for example, if any government organization or any trustworthy organization will collect the data, it is very much possibility that that particular data will very reliable. On the other hand, if any organization or any individual person you collect the data for their personal use, so it may possible that you cannot use that particular data for your future objective. So the who collect the data, and second, from where sources, from which the sources for that particular data is also important. Say for example, if you will collect the data from authentic sources, so that particular data will be very useful for the researcher, but the sources are not that much authentic, that particular data will not give you result as per your desire. Second, what methodology has been used while collecting the availability. The second, the research methodology on that particular data. If research methodology used in that data is not relevant with your title, with your objective, with your hypothesis, at that time that particular data is totally useless for you. તમારે જે છે તમારું માનો કે રિસર્ચ ટાઇટલ સાથે અથવા તમારા રિસર્ચ ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ સાથે એમનું જે મેથોડોલોજી છે મેચ થતી નથી તો એ તમારા માટે ટોટલી યુઝલેસ છે, તમારા માટે કંઈ કામના છે નહીં. તો આ વસ્તુ પણ તમારે ધ્યાન રાખવાની છે. નેક્સ્ટ, the purpose for which data were originally collected. What is the main purpose, what is the main objective to collect the data? That must be taken into consideration. If the objective of current researcher and objective of earlier researcher, both the objectives are different, at that time that particular data cannot be accurate, that particular data cannot be reliable. So this is also taken into consideration while you are collecting the secondary data. Next, at what time were they collected? Is that particular data which is collected by the earlier researcher is a current data. Say for example, if you want to make a research and that particular data is 5 year old or 1 or 2 year old, that is authentic, that is relevant. But if that particular data is 30-year-old, then that particular data is not relevant for your study. So this is also taken into consideration while you are making research on any particular topic. Next, was there any bias of the compiler? The compiler or the collector of that data, a person who collected that data, is that particular person has any bias on that particular research, on that particular data? That is also taken into consideration. Now, what level of accuracy was desired? Was it the data which is collected? Is there any accuracy desired by the researcher? If desired, then that particular accuracy is achieved by the particular researcher or not. That must be taken into consideration. Now next, suitability of data. The secondary data should be suitable for the inquiry. Even if the data are reliable, they should not be used if the same are found to be unsuitable for inquiry. Whatever the data collected by you or whatever the data needed by you, that collected and your need, both the data must be suited to your research methodology or your objective. If that particular data which is collected by the researcher, collected by the current researcher, is not with their objective, with their methodology, with their hypothesis, at that time that particular data is not that much important for the study, for the current researcher. Again, data may be suitable for one inquiry and may not be suitable for another. For checking suitability of data, one should inquire about what was the objective inquiry. Here, one data may be suited for one research, and that same data may not be suited to the another business research. That must be taken into consideration. Say for example, if you want to study on any topic, say for example, if a P&G company make a research on advertisement for the purpose of increasing selling of the particular product, at that time that particular company will collect data, and that particular data which is in benefit of that particular company. કોઈ કંપની પોતે જે ડેટા કલેક્ટ કરશે તે ડેટા કેવા કલેક્ટ કરશે કે જે એમના પોતાના માટે બેનિફિશિયલ હોય કેવા. હવે તમે જો એને યુઝ કરશો, if the current researcher will use that data for the study, it may be possible that that particular data is true in your business hypothesis, in your business objective. That particular data may not show in that particular business operations. Again, the definitions of various terms and units of collection must be carefully scrutinized. Suitability of data depends upon at what time the data is collected. In other words, the reference period of the data collection. It means in which time period that particular data is collected. It shows you the suitability and the main objective behind the collection of that particular data. This is also taken into consideration while you are collecting the data. Next, adequacy of data. Is the data collected by you, collected by the current researcher, is adequate or not? Say for example, if you want to make a research for the PhD, for the purpose of PhD, to getting degree of PhD, at that time you must have enough data that you can make analysis on that particular data. In that, the secondary data may be reliable and suitable, but at the same time it may be inadequate for the purpose of current investigation. If your data is not adequate to make information to make statement on that particular research, the data available may be narrower or wider in relation to that of the present purpose of inquiry. Again, the researcher has to make a comparison between the early reference period to that of the current period. It means your data basically must be adequate as per your requirement, as per your need. If that data is in bulk, it is in more quantity than your requirement, it will be very difficult and time consuming for you to make analysis on that. And if that particular data is so much less that you cannot make even any research on that data as per your requirement, then it is also totally useful for you. So that must be taken into consideration while you are making research that your data must be adequate. Now, next point is given benefits of secondary data or significance of the secondary data. Economy. In that, the first given is economy. Such data are cheaper. The amount of money spent in acquiring secondary data is generally a great deal less than that needed to obtain primary data. The various secondary data from libraries can be obtained at no cost. ઘણા બધા ડેટા એવા હોય કે જે તમારે નો કોસ્ટ ની અંદર તમને અવેલેબલ થઈ જાય. તો સે ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ, if you will collect data which is purely based on any topic which is you can directly collect from the book, then that particular data you can collect from directly from the library. So this is beneficial for you when you are collecting data. And basically હવે તો આપણે જોવા જઈએ તો અત્યારે ઓનલાઈન સિસ્ટમ ઇન્ટરનેટ એટલું બધું જે છે કે તમારે કોઈ પણ જે છે એ વસ્તુ જોતી હોય you can directly collect any information, any data, any book, any journal directly from the internet, from number of sources. તમારી પાસે જાણકારી હોવી જોઈએ કે તમે ક્યાંથી ડેટા મેળવી શકો છો. તો અત્યારે જો તમે say for example, if you will use NDL, basically this is the application in the Play Store. The full form of NDL is National Digital Library. So here you can collect the data from number of sources, from various sources. You can take many books from here. So secondary data may be economic for you. જો તમારે ઘણી વખત એવું બનતું હોય કે તમારે જો માર્કેટમાંથી કોઈ બુક લેવા માટે જાઓ તો એની કિંમત જે છે બહુ વધારે હોય. માનો કે 1000 રૂપિયા 1200 રૂપિયા હોય તો એ જ બુક તમને જે છે કોઈ ઓનલાઈન સોર્સમાંથી ફ્રીમાં મળી જતી હોય પીડીએફ ની અંદર. તો એનડીએલ તો એ ખાલી ઉદાહરણ છે. આ તો કેટલી બધી વેબસાઇટ્સ, કેટલા બધા સોફ્ટવેર છે કે જે તમને જે છે સીધી બુક્સ અથવા કોઈ પણ કન્ટેન્ટ આપે છે. તો એ તમારા માટે ઇકોનોમિક સાબિત થાય છે. The second is quickness. Most of these data are instant since they are already exist and merely need to be discovered. Thus, the time in collecting secondary data is largely search time and usually requires few hours per day. Secondary data નો સૌથી મોટો ફાયદો એ પણ છે કે you can quickly collect the data. You just need to have information related to how you can collect the data. Once you have idea, you have total information related to how you can collect data. At that time you can easily connect the data related to your study in few hours or maximum in few days. હવે જે છે 2-3 દિવસની અંદર કે મેક્સિમમ અમુક સમયની અંદર જો તમે ઈચ્છો તો સેકન્ડરી ડેટા તમે સીધો કલેક્ટ કરી શકો છો. શું કામ? કારણ કે અત્યારે તો માનો કે તમે લાઇબ્રેરીમાં જાઓ છો તો લાઇબ્રેરીમાં તમારે કેવા પ્રકારની બુક્સ જોઈએ છે તે તમારે ખાલી બુક્સ જ ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરવાની છે. અથવા તમે ઓનલાઈન સર્ચ કરો છો તો ઓનલાઈનમાં સીધું તમારે સર્ચ કરીને તમારી જે ઇન્ક્વાયરી ઇન્ફોર્મેશન અથવા તમારા જે ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ છે ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ સાથે જે કનેક્ટેડ ડેટા છે કનેક્ટેડ ડેટાને સીધે તમારે જે છે ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરી લેવાનું છે. સો બેઝિકલી when you collect the data from secondary sources you can quickly collect that particular data. Now the third one is quality. The next one, that is quality. An individual investigator cannot match the quality or size of the funds that obtain much of the existing secondary data. The information is gathered by trained personnel specialized in data collection. Also, many organizations may not release their data to individual researchers but may give it to firms. Sometimes the data collected by the firms, by the organization, by the government institution, by the many trustworthy organization, that data is very relevant and collected by very expert and any person who is very much experienced in the field of research. જ્યારે કોઈ રિસર્ચર કે જે રિસર્ચર ઓલરેડી ઘણી બધી જગ્યાએ રિસર્ચ કરેલું છે અને એ રિસર્ચ જે એમણે કરેલું છે એમાં એક્સપર્ટ હોય ને જ્યારે ડેટા કલેક્ટ કરે છે તો એ ક્વોલિટીની અંદર હોય છે અને તમે જ્યારે એ ડેટાનો યુઝ કરો છો ત્યારે એ ડેટા જે છે ક્વોલિટીવાળી હોય એનો જે છે ખૂબ જ વધારે ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ બની જાય છે. બટ હિયર યુ મસ્ટ taken into consideration the quality of that particular data is purely based on who collect the data. If the collector of that particular data is an expert and that particular expert has very good knowledge related to research, that particular data may becomes very qualitative. But that particular data or the collector is not that much an expert person, at that time it becomes very useless data. So who collect the data, that must be taken into consideration, and the collector of the data is an expert person. So at that time it may possible that that particular data is in very qualitative way. No need of measuring instrument. No need of measuring instrument. When information is to be gathered from secondary sources, there is no problem to design information gathering instrument as information is already collected by someone else. Here, you are not need to measure the instrument because that particular data is already collected by someone else, and once any person collect the data, that particular collector will measure that particular instrument. But you means the current researcher say that particular current researcher will not need that much measuring that particular instrument. The only problem here is to locate the appropriate source and method of recording desired information. But here, when you collect the data and the current researcher will use that particular data for the research, for their study, at that time he must be very much aware about from where he collect the data. You have to put reference when you are using the any other person. તમારે કોઈ બીજા વ્યક્તિઓનું જે છે એ ડેટાનો યુઝ કરો છો તો તમારે એનો રેફરન્સ મૂકવો જ પડે છે. તો જે રેફરન્સ તમે મૂકો છો એ કેવા પ્રકારનો છે એ તમારે ધ્યાનમાં લેવાનું છે. The fifth point is availability. Availability of data. These are sometimes available even in those cases where primary investigators are not possible. In some cases, primary collection of the data is not possible. At that time, you can directly collect the data from the available sources. Say, for example, if you want to collect data, what is the policy of GST? GST ની પોલિસી શું છે એના ઉપર તમે રિસર્ચ કરી શકો છો તો તમારે GST ની જે ઓફિશિયલ વેબસાઇટ છે અથવા એના જે ઓફિશિયલ્સ જે કે પબ્લિકેશન ડેટા છે પબ્લિશ ડેટા છે ફ્રોમ ધેટ પર્ટિક્યુલર સોર્સ યુ કેન ડાયરેક્ટલી કલેક્ટ ડેટા રિલેટેડ ટુ GST. So once you know from where you can collect the data, you can get that data, that particular data will available as per your information. The next is basis of comparison. They are used in the case of exploratory researches as they provide increased understanding of the problem. When you research and your research type is exploratory, means you want to explore something, you want to find out something. At that time, that particular data will provide increased understanding of the problem. Because secondary data, say for example, you want to understand the current problem in the business scenario. What is the current problem? So for getting information related to current scenario, current problem, you will take number of sources. You will collect the data from number of sources, from books, from journal, from online sources, and that particular data is, from that particular data you will want to know, you want to find out something beneficial for you. So that is particularly exploratory research. So here you can make a research as per your convenience, and in this your understanding level of that particular data will increase. Now generates feasible alternative. Generates feasible alternative. This is the last point. Secondary data are very useful in generating viable alternatives to solve problems. The multiplicity of data sources, research approaches, and managerial stats usually lead to a number of possibilities which should be examined by the researcher. It means how many, here in the first line is given secondary data are very useful in generating viable alternatives to solve problem. It means when you have a problem, to solve that particular problem, you have a number of alternatives for that particular problem. Say for example, if your sales is decreasing, so what are the main sources, what are the main reasons to decrease in sales, and how you can overcome, how you can solve that particular problem. To solve that problem, you have number of alternatives. So when you have number of alternatives available, when you have number of alternatives available to solve any problem, at that time secondary data will useful for you. The multiplicity of data sources, research approaches, and managerial stats usually lead to a number of possibilities which should be examined by the researcher. How many possibilities or how you can solve the problem, it must be taken into consideration, because when you have any problem and you want to resolve that problem, at that time your data collection must be from the authentic sources. And once you collect data from the authentic sources, your half work will complete है. તમારો અડધું કામ અહીંયા જ પૂરું થઈ જશે જો તમે જે ડેટા જે છે ડેટા વ્યવસ્થિત કોઈ જગ્યાએથી કલેક્ટ કરેલા હોય. હવે ડેટાને યુઝ કરીને તમે માત્ર એનાલિસિસ કરવાનું છે. સો બેસિકલી ધીસ ઇઝ ધ બેનિફિટ્સ એન્ડ ધ કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક્સ ઓફ secondary data. Next point related to business data will be studied in our next video. Thank you.